This is the Mutant Epoch by William McCausland, and it is a fascinating game which I'm trying to get to grips with. Character creation is quite involved, and the rules are simple but very detailed. So there, and it is full of amazing artwork, obviously, because William McCausland is an amazing artist. Now, the thing is, it has these multipath adventures which can pretty much play without a GM, so you can effectively solo it. There is currently in the works an adventure called Dog Days, which is designed to be played solo with one character, but that's for the future. And this adventure is designed for 6 to 10 first rank characters. Now, being that I'm not that used to the system and that character creation is quite detailed and involved, I'm going to use these two pre-gens which I got off the Outland Arts website, and scale down the encounters as they come up, and we'll see how we go with that. Obviously there will be spoilers because I'm going to be going through the start of this, and also I'm still finding my way with the rules, so I'm bound to make loads of mistakes. So let's say our characters are probably in Pitford, maybe, and we're in a bar and we are approached by somebody. Joining you in this bar are a group of 3 men and 2 women, all of them middle-aged and dressed like farmers. They are led by a tall 50 or 60-year-old skinny mutant with lavender skin, elongated arms and rust red hair. The man introduces himself as Ben Wald, the executive, who does all the talking for his group and explains his people's plight. We represent a newly populated, charming little farm village outside of Overpass called Wallsave. While we are now getting our first crops off the rich fields outside the walls, we have had a series of disappearances of townsfolk from within the community. At first we thought people were just abandoning the farming life and moving back to the slums of the city, which is understandable, as many of us never worked the land before. After several travellers to the village, watchmen on the walls and others in the streets vanished, we knew we had trouble, and doubled the militia patrols, which seemed to work for a while. A week ago, however, the kidnapping started again. We found an entire family missing from their home, and the place broken up, but no bodies or blood discovered. After that, we decided to seek outside assistance. The Freehold Scouts have been no help, claiming they are short on manpower and telling us we should abandon settlement of the site. That remote villages outside of Overpass were impossible to protect due to repeated invasions by Aberracia, the Purists, or any number of humanoid war parties. We're aware of those risks and will strengthen our defences, grow in numbers and deal with those obvious threats. But these abductions, they've terrified everybody, and some people are threatening to leave the village, and worse, others are abandoning our existing faith to join a silly cult that has established itself in the community. Wallsave is in danger of being abandoned, so we have pulled our money and our great treasures of the old ones as payment to those who could help us. We need mercenary adventures, no heroes, to find out the cause of the abductions. We need mercenary adventurers, no heroes, to find out the cause of the abductions, put a stop to it and maybe return our lost people. We are simple farmers with not much money to offer warriors like you, and if you will come to our new village in the next few days and help us, we are prepared to give you each 100 silver coins and a few wondrous treasures handed down to us for many generations, which you can keep, and one device on loan, a rocket launcher, and at least 2 rockets until the job is done. Okay, I think, well, we're looking for work, so but we are going to try and drive a bargain, so we have to roll on this table here. I'll grab 3d6. Okay. Promised treasures, roll 3d6, d3 plus 2 times. So d3 plus 2, that's 5. And let's see what things we can get. Oops. 11 and 15. That is assault rifle. Cool. Else, 14 is a flashlight, pocket flashlight. Terrible handwriting for a Sunday morning. 16, a suit of riot armour with helmet. Uh, 10 is a shotgun, pistol and pouch. Containing 2d6 shells. Oops, 7 shells. And finally, 16, we've had that. I'll reroll. Shall I? Oh no, it says you don't. Unless it's got an asterisk. So 16, we have another suit of riot armour. With helmet. Cool. We will accept those terms and go to entry 1 on page 8. Arriving at wall save. Arriving at wall save just before sunset, the characters are put up in the stables and given a quick tour by Benward. There are over 50 robust houses, barns, shops and storage facilities located here, as well as a large octagonal 3-storey structure near the southeast wall, referred to as the Quonite Temple of the True Prophet. All the structures are made of scrap metal, plastic and stacked on operative vehicles, timber, straw and ancient concrete ruin protrusions. The community of about 150 souls is contained within a shoddy-looking network of wooden palisades, sections of rebar bristling walls, rubble piles, aircraft wings and the more heaped automobiles of old, bolted and lashed together 4 or 5 cars high. The double doors of the town are of wood and scrap metal. Benward remarks, much of the ancient material you see here was dug up from the earth under our feet by people who built on the same site many years ago. They abandoned it suddenly during the wars, or just weren't farmers at heart, and perhaps moved back to the city, I guess. They just left all these excellent materials stacked up for us. The concrete columns and walls are the tops of old buildings that are buried in the deep silt and junk beneath the land, as is of course the case throughout the region after the sea came in and drank this part of the world. And there you see just one of the 4 houses people had disappeared from. A family with small children lived there until 4 days ago. You see a large wooden scrap structure across the muddy street, having a thatched roof and chimney without any smoke coming from it. Benward points up the street to a large lopsided building. Come, let's get you settled into the stables, then see about a hot meal. We can start the investigation at first light. We'll post 4 crossbowmen outside the stables so you can rest up for the mission ahead. You'll get your promised ancient devices and the loaned rocket launcher at dawn. Cool. So we are in the stables, location 3 on the wall save map. So in this stockaded town we are there. This map might have helped for last night's adventure because I needed a stockaded town, but anyway, and as you can see it's very much like a choose your own adventure. So we go on to entry 2. The next morning you are escorted by Benward and a handful of militia soldiers, we can get the exact number if we want, who are armed with crossbows toward the house of the first missing family, the Lastics. On the way you observe a procession of about 30 chanting people in long red and gold trim robes who march slowly towards the south, blocking your way and forcing Benward and your party to stop and wait until the group passes. The worshippers carry a platform aloft on which is built a tent-like dome of ancient silk and blue nylon. The sun shines from behind the canopy of the tent as the procession carries the litter past. Past, as in, yeah. Light illuminates the thin fabric to reveal a bald, 3-headed figure sitting on an oddly shaped seat within. The trio of heads turn to face you, but you can't make out the person's features. The so-called Prophet Quan, sneers Benward, shaking his head. He arrived here a few months ago, after being invited by several converts to the new faith. Bought the house that you saw last night, enlarged it and made it into a temple. The Christians in town, like myself, didn't stand up to him soon enough, didn't kick him out when we had the chance. Now many of the young people go to his chanting all-night prayer festivals, doing God knows what. Nearly a quarter of the people in town now see him as the spokesman of God on earth, and consider him a divine being because of his powers. All I know is that he and his priests want my job, and to make Walsave into a Quonite-only town from which to spread their faith. He'll want to speak to you eventually, since many of the missing people were from his flock. Some taken from their homes, others from a large missionary pilgrimage headed to Overpass, but never made it. Watch yourself around that deceitful freak. He has extremely powerful mental gifts. Come, let's get started on the investigation. This way. Benward leads you to the elastic house where 2 militia soldiers with crossbows salute the elder and open the small structure to the team. Inside, the furniture is toppled and broken, the carpet scattered, and pottery and wicker baskets lay in tatters and shards about the ground floor main room. The sleeping loft above has been messed up, but you find no blood or any obvious clues to who took the residence. While inspecting the main floor, each character is allowed a Type E perception-based hazard check. Okay. Type E perception-based hazard check. So if we look on this hazard chart, Type E, and we cross-reference our trait value here. So Marissa has a perception of 21. So for Type E, you will need to roll 33%. She fails. Baxter has a perception of 29. So we cross-reference that. For Type E, he needs to roll a 42% or less. And he does, he rolls 34. So let's see what that means. And so we go to entry 4. Once then, again, I will emphasize there are obviously spoilers. So you notice that some of the floor planks are of a slightly different colour than the rest. Pulling them up, Benward and the militia soldiers gasp as a rough-hewn tunnel about a metre in diameter is clearly visible in the soil beneath the house. Obviously, the boards have been replaced wrong side up. At once, Benward instructs his men to search the other homes where people have gone missing, but soon hears back that no sign of floor tunnels or any other distinguishable portals are located. Benward shakes his head as he peers downwards into the crude passage. Something or someone has used this filthy hole to get in and out of our fine village, probably going from here to the other homes to take our people, bring them back here and down into the darkness. If it was just to feed, why not devour the people in their homes and leave the blood and guts for us to find? We will post a band of guards here, but beseech you, warriors, you who are not afraid of the underground nor superstitious as we are, we will now give you the non-coin payment we offered you when we cut this deal, then beg you to enter the tunnel and search for our missing neighbours, for among the missing are women and children, among them my own daughter Rebecca. Are we in agreement? Yes. Yes, we are. We shall get the stuff. So we collect all these items, and we will then go to entry 8. So I've made the adjustments for our new armour and our new weapons. Now we are going into the hole, and we are small enough to fit in. We don't have any awkward mutations that get in the way, and after many minutes of hard crawling, the lead character, let us say probably Marissa, because her perception is better, she notices a tiny side hole in the soil, about 20 centimetres wide and leading off into the unknown depths. Roll D10 and see the entry. 2. The character hears the squeak of something deep within the hole, but nothing comes out. That's fine. So, yeah. Now we go on to entry 10. Sorry, I've gone out of focus. There we go. So you arrive at a large cave among twisted concrete and metal, the middle of the chamber occupied by a deep, foul-smelling pool. However, skirting all around the right side of the 10-metre round pool is a narrow pathway. Along this trail are various holes and openings in the muck and root-covered rubbish. Each of the 4 holes looks about the same in width and height, being about 2 meters wide and tall, with each hole cut by either geological upheaval, long-term flow of water, or by very crude miners. The openings to each hole are caked with wet mud. Here and there various small subterranean life forms ooze, wriggle and scuttle in and out of the openings. Roots from the surface plants hang down from the 7-meter-high cavern ceiling. Water also drips downward, each droplet dodged by the tiny insects and small albino bats which feed on the bugs. You immediately hear something splash in the pool, and with your lights see a large ripple form across the surface. A moment later an odd, eel-like fish as long as a man's arm leaps out of the water and snatches up one of the passing bats before disappearing beneath the surface of the unsavoury-looking pool. You can either go back to the surface to Benoit and his militiamen and report that you have discovered the 4 passages, or pick from among the east tunnel, north, northwest, and furthest due west passage and enter single file. We will go northwest. Where are we? East, northeast. Oh, I guess that would be the north then. See entry 17, page 35. Okay, the muck-coated crude tunnel veers left and right for a long while, dropping only slightly in elevation. Only single-file travel can be accomplished within this passage, and tall people need to hunch down to get through low spots. All along the length, roots from the surface hang down, dripping with moisture, caked with small invertebrates, fungus, and an assorted harmless slime. After going about 200 meters, without event, you begin to see lines of faint common spider web crossing the tunnel, all of it many days old, with dust and dead bugs stuck to the strands. Yet farther ahead, another 50 meters, still following the passage in a northeastern course, the floor of the cave is no longer muddy and has dried up and shows numerous bare humanoid footprints left behind in the now dry mud. The tracks are coming toward you, as if people had gone to the distant pool junction themselves, perhaps a week ago. None of these prints are going the same direction you currently travel, and the dry mud cracks under your feet as you step on it. I'm going to turn back to the junction because I don't think we're going to find new travellers here, or recent travellers. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do, I think. It's going to take a while to go back, but I think this is a red herring. 10A. Back to 10A, where are we? Gosh, it is a long way back, isn't it? Here we go. Yes, so that was north. Let's go northeast. Entry 16, page 28. We are wasting time, but you know, I don't think we were going to find anything useful up there. Entry 16. The tunnel is only a metre wide in spots and about 1.5 metres high throughout its length. Moving forward one at a time, Marissa in the front probably. Lost my place. Occasionally stepping on some small creature, which either squeaks or pops underfoot. You follow the passage course downward, then to the left up a muddy slope, then to the right. You get the impression you are going deeper into the earth rather than closer to the surface, and here and there the tunnel veers around an enormous concrete column or buried wall. After going probably 200 metres from the junction pool, you abruptly come to a fork in the tunnel where a huge pillar of concrete divides the way ahead. You can either go down to the right or up to the left. Both tracks are about 1 metre wide and 2 metres high, muck-filled, dripping with seep water and the occasional root from someplace far above the surface. I think we're going to go down to the right. We shall head further downwards, because maybe that's where all the fun is. The passage only goes 8 metres southwest, dropping steeply, however, and bottoms out at an ancient concrete corridor which runs due west, 18 metres before turning out of view directly south. The old corridor is coated with mud and lined with various animal bones, while small crabs, tiny worms and assorted small harmless insects dart about under the gleam of your light. You can either turn round try your luck someplace else, or proceed down the 3 metre wide and 2 metre tall corridor. I think we will proceed. 16D. Let's try and find something interesting. Maybe yeah. The lead character is allowed to make a type C perception-based hazard check. Type C. That is Marissa. Let's just find the chart in the hazards. Type C, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Okay, her perception is 21. Actually, it's worse, isn't it? Hers is worse. Okay. Well, she's got the gun. Type C is 46. 82. No, we fail. Okay. We're not successful. We didn't see the trip line. There is a 4 in 6 chance he or she happened to step over the line by fluke. 4 in 6. Yes. We step over it by fluke. But the next PC must make the same hazard check to see it. Okay. A C for his perception of 29. Okay, here we are with hazards. A C at 29 is 58%. He might be okay. He might not. He just missed. Okay, so he has the same 4 in 6 chance. Oh, he springs the trap. The trap is sprung. If sprung, it shoots as a normal crossbow. Strike value 58. Damage D20 plus 1 at Baxter. So 58 or less, it hits, and D20 plus 1 damage. 21. Couldn't have been any worse. Now, I made a mistake there because I should have taken away from the 58 our defense value of 46. However, that would bring it down to a 12. However, we are unaware of the attacker's presence, so I think that would apply. So if we add 30 to the 12, make it 42, then it still hits on a roll of 27. So the strike value, take away the defense value of the target, applying any other appropriate modifiers, and that gives us the chance to hit. So 27 is still a hit, and we take 21 damage from our endurance. That's never a good thing. So we're down to 32. Well, upon reaching the far end of the corridor, you look out upon a massive rectangular chamber of the ancients. This area is flooded with brown water to an indeterminate depth, and the ceiling is some 30 meters above. On the far side of the warehouse-sized room, across the unbroken water, is a tiny village of junk and animal skin huts on a raised platform of debris. The community is protected by a rickety crude wood and junk palisade and fringed by 3 docks, a large scrap-built, high-sided rowboat moored to each dock. You also notice a rusty metal catwalk to your left, which is 6 meters above the surface of the water and reachable by a set of service stairs next to you. The catwalk seems to go all the way around the east side of the huge room and ends at the edge of the village, hanging over the crude wall. 2 other staircases lead out of the water and up to the catwalk, one at each of the 2 corners on your left. The only break in the catwalk is about 27 meters down the eastern section, but it is only a gap of a meter or 2, filled with some twisted metal, and looks easy enough to jump across. The village itself has about 6 junk and animal hide huts, and among them is a large bonfire which flickers brilliantly, illuminating the catwalk and the surface of the rippling water. A small waterfall pours down the wall to the right of the village, providing a current and life-giving oxygen to the water body. Here and there, fish surface, feeding on flying insects or water bugs, while occasionally something fairly large splashes in the filthy liquid. You can see no activity at the village, hearing only the waterfall, splashing aquatic creatures, and crackle of the distant fire. It is 42 metres wide across to the village, and while the chamber is 45 metres wide, the community forms a semicircle of raised debris and is nestled against the farthest concrete wall, which itself is a total of 54 metres away. So, that is what we see. PCs can either abandon this underground lake to explore other areas or decide they must search the village for the kidnapped victims by either going over the catwalk and raiding the place, or trying their luck by wading in and perhaps swimming over to the village. We are not swimming in that water. We'll go for the catwalk. The catwalk starts on your immediate left and goes up 6 metres before levelling off. The contraption is rusted and damaged in spots, however, seems to go clear around to the village on the far side, with only one small missing section located at a spot about 50 or so metres along the whole catwalk, and then the gap is only a metre or two across. As you go a single file, you don't notice any activity from the far village, and the sound of the creaking catwalk is lost due to the noise of the waterfall across the great chamber. So, who's got good agility? Yep, Baxter will go first, followed by Marissa. Okay, it's not easy to cross. There are 3 separate stages to getting over. First stage is the nearby corner, the second is the gap, and the third is the actual approach overlooking the village. At all times the catwalk is single file. A normal sized PC can lean against the wall and have another squeeze by it to either retreat or advance and change the marching order. We're alright. If we come over under attack, okay. Stage 1, the corner. When the PCs get to the first corner and begin to head south along the main length of the chamber, roll d6 for a possible event. We shall get to the village, and then high in the corner, a rubble spider has made its nest and sees the PCs as an opportunity at an excellent meal, and drops on the last PC, which is Marissa, gaining +3 initiative. So the rubble spider naturally gets +3 to its initiative, and in this encounter it gets an additional +3 by the sounds of it, so that's +6, and we get no bonus at all for either of my characters. It's usually the character that's on point or whatever, but she's getting attacked. It doesn't matter anyway. So you roll per side, so our side rolls this one, and the rubble spider cannot lose. So the rubble spider will act first. The rubble spider's strike value is 1 to 55. Marissa's defense value is -29. So I really, really dislike maths. I'm going to grab my calculator. Right. Okay. I'm terrible at maths. 55 take away 29 equals 26. So it needs to roll 26 to hit or less. 53, it misses. Excellent. So the rubble spider's defense value is -25, and Marissa's attack value with her power arm punch is 60. So she needs to roll at 35% to hit. 48, she misses. And Baxter can't really do a lot because this is actually single file, so yeah, he's just going to stand there like a lemon. So I guess the spider is going to try and attack again to try and catch its dinner. So 26%, and that is a miss, thankfully, 38. And Marissa will again try to punch the thing, 35%, 41, she misses. I'm standing here rolling dice at myself again, aren't I? The spider will then try and attack again. Well, Baxter's just stuck here and can't really help. 26 for the spider, and that is a 20, that is a hit. And it does d8 plus poison damage. So she takes 3 damage plus poison. So she's been bitten with type B poison. So we go to the hazards chart and go down type B and cross-reference her endurance, which is 38. So she needs to roll 68% or less to resist falling asleep. And she does. So she shakes off the effects of the poison and tries to attack the spider again with a punch. 59. She can't. She's swinging like a mad thing and can't get a hit in. The spider attacks again. We're going to have to change tactics, I think. 86. Marissa swings a punch. Come on. That's a 9. That's sweet. So her damage is 2d10 plus 16. So 9, about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And getting my Sunday morning maths together, that is a total of 32 damage with her mighty power arm punch. And with its endurance being 28, the spider is dead. Splosh. I won't lie, character creation looks quite involved, but we'll see how simple it actually is. And I'm going to be careful about the light because I might go out of focus. Now, the summary here is step 1, character type. We roll for the type of character we get. Then we do trait rolling, so your stats, character history by cast, gender, height and weight, handed, right or left, obviously, unless you've got more than 2 hands. Discover the character's swimming ability, age, mutations and implants, a bit of cybernetic stuff. Name the character, draw a picture or stick a picture on it, and establish defense value for your combat and strike values for your attacks. Sort out your damage modifiers, purchase some extra gear, and you are complete. Now that sounds simple, doesn't it? So if we look at our character sheet here, we have all our traits and things and our modifiers that apply to different stuff like attacks and dodging and all that. Different attacks, mutations, implants and skills, and all our personal details down here and that kind of thing. So let's get this quite chunky but funky rulebook and make a start. Now, step 1, character type determination. So that is, we are a beginning player, well I certainly am, so we roll a d100 and find out who we are. Wow, that's 100. We are a severe mutant. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Mutant, severe. Character type. Severe mutant. Nice. So, we'll try and find a miniature or a standee for that. Number 2 is trait rolling. Most character types, pure stocks, transhumans, mutants, ghost mutants and cyborgs roll the 8 character traits according to table TME 1-2. However, pure stocks and transhumans gain a further bonus. Okay, so let us roll our traits here and see how that happens. There are different systems for dealing with your traits. Rolling the 8 traits in order, we'll probably do that. Rolling 9 rolls, getting rid of a rubbish one, and that kind of thing. So point by, and various different random methods. So we shall go for that. Now what we have to do is roll a d100, cross-indexed with a set value, possibly adding d20 for high rolls. For other character types, okay, we are a mutant, so we are on TME 1-2, so that is here. Okay, so this D100 roll will tell us what our trait value is. Okay, right, we'll go down our traits. Endurance first. 41 on the chart, that is a 26. Our strength, 65 on the chart, that is 38. Agility, 87 on the chart, that is 40 plus d20, so 44, not as good as it might have been. And accuracy, 22, that is a 21 score on the chart. Intelligence, 35 on the chart, that is a result of 23. Willpower, 39 on the chart, that is a 25. Perception, 84 on the chart, that's 40 plus d20 again, so 57. And appearance, how gorgeous are we? 73, that is 40 plus d20 again, 53. So now we find out our character history by cast. We are a mutant, so we roll a d100, 52. We are a nomad, that's kind of cool. Okay, we've decided to be a chap, so we then roll our weight and height. We are a mutant, so we roll 60 plus 2d20 kilos. Okay, 66. Maths. Oh, curse you. 76, 80, 4. Oh, the pain of it. 84 kilos. Where do I put my weight? It's around here somewhere. Okay, where is it? Come on. Oh yeah, 84 kilos. Right, and now our height as a mutant will be 60 plus, 150 plus 4d20 centimeters. Okay. 120. 100. What is it? 150 plus 4d20. So 4. 13, I'm losing it now, 13, 23, 28, and finally 42, gosh, so 42 equals 192 centimetres. Yeah, 192 centimetres. I do not like maths, I'll be honest. Right, and now we handed. Okay, we actually have a table to decide our hand dominance. So that's a d10. Where is my ordinary d10? I don't know. I'll roll this one. That's 10, and that is, we are ambidextrous. That's quite cool. Now, can we swim? That's a 10. We are an excellent swimmer. Great stuff. So, excellent. Right. Now what do? We establish our age. So, it's usually 17 plus d8, it says here. So, starting age, 17 plus d8. That makes sense. Okay. 17, 18, we're only a young scamp. So where's our age? It's here. 18. And now we go into the game stuff, or almost. Mutations and implants. The character's type may mean mutations or implants are present. mutation determination tables start on page 58, while implants for cyborgs are on page 84. So we are a mutant. Page 58, let's have a look at that. Okay. Yeah. Let's deal with this. So we have D4 plus 3 prime mutations, D3 plus 2 minor mutations, and D2 flaws. So let's have some fun with that. So I have rolled 7 prime mutations, 4 minor mutations, and 7 flaws. So my green die here will be the thousands. So yeah, prime mutations. Wow. Okay. Grief. I tried to think, to be honest. 197 is breath holding. Cool. 7 mutations, that's crazy. And the next one is 481, which is heel touch. Okay. It's an amazing amount of 551 is heightened attributes. Okay. 903. That is stun ray. This guy's amazing. But his flaws are awful. 3 more. 430, which is force field. 155. Body disproportion. And finally, for these prime mutations, 683, which is mind crush. That sounds incredible. Okay, so those are prime mutations. We have 4 minor mutations, so we'll find, and that chart is just here, that is a D100 chart. So number 1 is 88, that is tranquilizer agent. How odd. Tranquilizer agent. I'm not going to make a joke about watching a boring James Bond film, because that will be a tranquilizer agent. Number 2, 35, early menopause. Okay, early menopause females only. Yes, this game has some weird themes. So I guess we'll re-roll something else. 13 is blood colour alteration. Now that is fun. Alteration. And the final, oh no, second to last, 21 is eyelights. Eyelights. This creature is incredible. And 34 is offspring link. Oh no, have I? I've been looking on this, haven't I? I'm an idiot. So tranquilizer agent is not. That should have been. Sorry, that should have been physical alterations. I got that wrong. That's on the wrong chart. Alterations. I don't spell that. Blood colour is okay. Eyelights is okay. And the final one, which was a 34, is physical alterations. Okay. Right. Sorry, I was looking on the flaws chart. because I got overexcited. Now we do have 2 floors, so we'll find out what those are. We might have the menopause again, you never know. Coronary thrombosis. Wow. Thrombosis. And our other floor is 98. Weeping. Okay, that's different. Yeah, mutations, prime, minor, and our floors. Yes, the minor mutations are just here, and the floors are here, and I got mixed up. But all the prime mutations are here, and there are loads. And now we pick of a name. There are names at the Mutant Epoch website, but I'm going to call him Davin Drake. I'm going to spell Drake like that with an I. I'm not sure why. So we've got our name. We can draw a picture later when we kind of figure out what he's going to look like, and then we get into the meat and potatoes of the matter, the defense values and strike values and that kind of thing. While I'm here, which I probably should have done earlier, I will check this chart here for my Nomad cast, which alters some of my skills and abilities. So as a nomad I get plus 10 agility, so I get plus 5, plus d10 I should say. So I've got 49 agility, and I also get plus d6 perception, so that's plus 3, so that's a nice round 60 there. And outfitting code PR, we'll remember that. Rider D3, I get D3 skill points to be able to ride a dog or horse, a big dog I hope. So I've got 3 rider points. And what else can you do? I can navigate by the stars. Okay. And I have a 13% chance of being able to read and write. Nope. And I also have an 18% chance. Oh, no. If you can read and write, you have an 18% chance of being able to do maths. But I can't. So there we go. I also have D3 miscellaneous starting skill things on that chart there. So I can roll on that twice. My first one is miscellaneous 42. That is knife thrower. That's quite good. Let's write that there for the moment. And my other one is 73. That is a stealth. Stealth is my other skill, so that's quite good. I have 2 pencils here for no reason. There we go. So I rolled for heightened senses, and that gave me willpower on this D12 thing. So I get D20 plus 30 extra willpower points, which takes me up to 74. That's kind of cool. My base defense value is 0. So that, right, okay, we'll find the charts for those. So this table here gives me my what my traits do. So my agility of 49 gives me a -4 to my base defense value, and my agility move rate of, what was it again, 49, gives me a move rate of plus 0.5 meters, plus 0.5 meters. Okay, we haven't got any. equipment yet. We don't have any dodge skill. I don't think we have any other skills that yet that affect that. So yeah, wow, this is it certainly is. So some of these remind me of Warhammer fancy roleplay art from back in the good old days. Right, I have this PR equipment code. So I have all these things: tinderbox, some torches, candles, cutlery, dibbly-doo, sleeping bag, backpack, rope, sewing kit, that kind of thing, work boots, poncho, cotton pants and shirt, and some dried rations, plus seat table TME 1 to 67 or 167 to find the arms and armour. My PR code, I roll a D10 plus 1 to find out what weapon I start with. That is a 4, that is a dagger and a javelin. Okay. I guess we can put it here. Dagger, javelin. And for the armour we also roll D10 plus 1, that's a 7. I start with lizard scale, that's quite exciting. 4 in 10 chance of a spiked shield. Nope. And 7 in 10 chance of a leather helmet. I have a leather helmet with my lizard scale armour. There's also these mutant appearance tables. So I keep losing my D10s. Seriously, what is wrong with me? I can't see it. Right, skin colour, 79. We are olive green. Okay, olive green skin. Our hair is 67. We have dark green hair. We are the Incredible Hulk. And our eyes, we have eye lights, remember. 67 for eyes. We have ice blue eyes. That is cool. So yes, we look quite unusual. And as for our body disproportion, as we sort out these things, I have a massive head. Character's head is massive, twice normal size. I have 20 plus D20 intelligence bonus. A -1 meter of movement due to my massive head, and minus 2d4 APP. Will, yeah, 4 and 5. Oh yeah, -5 appearance. So we are down to 48 because we've got a massive head. There we go. -1 move. I'll write that down at some point. So our brain box, 20 plus D20. That's 30 extra intelligence. We have 53 intelligence. So we've got a massive head. And our physical alterations mutation that we have comes up with 49. Quite dread to think. Protruding veins, oh that's kind of grim. Minus 2d4 appearance, so protruding veins, minus 2 more d4 to our appearance. 4, 5, 6. We're down to 42. Not looking quite so gorgeous apparently. Now blood colour alteration. That's a D20. Our blood is amber. Okay, with our green skin and green hair. And eye lights. At will, this mutant's eyes can produce relatively bright light beams like spotlights with 20 meters effective range. This character can use these lights 1 hour per day per rank. The game's master could pass along to the player stuff. Okay. Along with the use of lanterns, torches, or light flashlights, the shedding of illumination at night in the wilds is sure to attract attention from the locals. Quite so. Yeah, eye lights. It takes time, but you come up with some crazy stuff. I think that's. I think that was all of it. Yeah. Now we're just our flaws to deal with. Coronary thrombosis. Keep it light. Our heart experiences repeated coronary blockages, and when stressed may result in a severe heart attack. Yeah. Okay. Weeping. We produce 60 times too much tear fluid. It constantly flows. We appear to be permanently crying. Okay. And we need to drink twice as much water because we are losing it so much. So with coronary thrombosis, if we get in a stressful situation, we could potentially suffer a heart attack if we fail a hazard check based on our endurance. So it's not ideal. As a fearless adventurer, we need to take it easy and yeah. Not ideal. So most humans' strike value, base strike value is 50, I think. Oh, sorry, put it there. And those weapons, these two weapons don't add to our strike value at all. So I think that's right. I'm a knife thrower though, so that perhaps gives me a bonus to my dagger. So as I have that skill with a 1 skill point in it. Sorry, my rider skill was 3. I made a mistake there. I get 2d10 knives to throw. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 ammo basically. And I get a bit of a +2 damage bonus and a +3 strike value bonus. So that's not bad at all. So although I've jumped around a lot because I got excited by seeing different things, I think we're about there. So we're basically the Mekon with reptile skin armour, and we have all this crazy equipment, including 3 meters of rope, which will be a great deal of use. We'll just use it for tying up baddies or something. And we are 18 years old and we look like that. So yeah, let's try and take this guy out into the wasteland and see what he gets up to.